Summary of A Day by Emily Dickinson. About the poet Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson, born 1830, died 1886, one of the most eminent American poets of the 19th century, was heavily influenced by the metaphysical poets of the 17th century England, as well as her reading of the Book of the Revelation and her upbringing in a Puritan New England town. These upbringings inculcated in her Calvinist, Orthodox, and conservative approach to Christianity. Dickinson and Walt Whitman are regarded as the forefathers of a distinctively American poetic voice, despite the fact that Dickinson was a prolific poet who frequently enclosed poems in her letters to friends. She was not publicly recognized during her lifetime. However, she had steadily grown in fame as a result of her posthumously published poems. Main summary. Emily Dickinson in her poem A Day describes a beautiful day that brings the children from innocence to experience using brilliant imagery and symbols. Emily describes the sunset and sunrise as a village and the things in that village in this poem. However, the poem also portrays the difficulty in recognizing the world and environment around us. In the poem, the speaker of the poem clearly describes how the sun rises, what happens after the sun rises, and how sun sets. When the sun first rises, its ribbon-like rays fall over the steeple of the church, transforming its color to amethyst. Sunrise news spreads as fast as the squirrels can run. In the early morning light, the dark hills are seen and a small American bird, the bobolink, begins to sing. The warmth of the sun makes all living things happy and pleasant. The speaker speaks to himself to be confirmed about the sunrise with its lovely and the magnificent beams. The poem is written by 4 different beautiful stanzas, each of them describing a beautiful day using various imagery and symbols. We can divide the poem into 2 parts, an 8-line segment describing the sunrise and an 8-line segment describing the speaker's misunderstanding of the sunset. Stanza 1. I'll tell you how the sun rose, a ribbon at a time, the steepless swam in amethyst, the news like squirrels ran. The speaker starts the poem by describing the readers how the sun rises. The sun's rays are referred to as ribbons by the speaker. When the sun shines on the steeple, it glows amethyst in color. The process of stacking these ribbons is gradual. This sensation's news spread quickly. The speaker's excitement to discuss sunrise reflects his/her immature perspective of the world. This persona is concerned with seemingly unimportant details, implying to readers that it is acceptable to stop and appreciate normal changes in nature, such as the sunrise. In a metaphorical sense, the stanza also refers to the enthusiasm that comes with the start of the life, that is childbirth. In addition, the mention of the steeples, a part of the church building, hints at Emily Dickinson's religious upbringing. Stanza 2. The hills untied their bonnets, the bobolinks begun. Then I said softly to myself, that must have been the sun. The stanza explains the events that occur as the results of sunrise. The sun shines on the top of the hills and bobolinks, a type of the blackbird, begin to sing. The stanza highlights similar natural events that appear to be in response to the rising sun. It emphasizes the beauty of nature all around us, once more asking readers to be more grateful for it. In this line, the speaker expresses his or her awe by exclaiming, that must have been the sun. This statement reveals that the speaker is a child because no adult would require much description to recognize the sun or its rising. Stanza 3. But how he set, I know not. There seemed a purple stile which little yellow boys and girls were climbing all the while. The subject matter in the stanza shifts from sunrise to sunset, and the speaker's tone shifts from excited to reserved. The child's confidence shrinks since he or she knows so little about sunsets. Nonetheless, the person describes what they can, which is more serious than exciting. Dickinson uses the stanza to depict the transition from life to death. Therefore, it is more metaphorical than literal. On metaphorical level, the poem A Day conveys to readers how little any living thing understands about death. Humans, like the child speaker, prefer to talk about more exciting topics and so keep their thoughts on the dreadful subject to minimum. The literal imagery in the stanza, on the other hand, depicts the rising sun moving from east to west. Stanza 4. Till when they reached the other side, a domina in grey put gently up the evening bars and led the flock away. Emily Dickinson's faith is revealed in the final stanza of the poem A Day. This purely symbolic stanza employs Christian themes such as flock and domine in grey to demonstrate the poet's own perspective on death. Dickinson believes that where a domine in grey symbolizes God and a flock means human beings, the God leads human beings wherever they go once they die. The stanza, on the other hand, literally welcomes in the evening as the sun eventually sets. The speaker's passion is non-existent at this point due to the inactivity of the moment. As a result, a day finishes on a sad note. You can find the note of this lesson at hari570.com.np or go to the link in the description. Thank you and all the best.